What's going on, my fellow Fairy Tale my Doshis? These two chapters, right? Okay, first off, let me say this is my third time sitting down and recording this review throughout the course of this day. Like I did my first one when it first came out. I said, okay, I need to take a break and come back and recollect my thoughts, and it still didn't work out. And I just cannot convey my emotions towards this chapter how I wanted to, but I'm going to try again. And the reason for that is because this review has to be the most difficult one that I've done in my entire YouTube reviewing career, like my entire 2-3 years, however long I've been doing that. It's sad I don't remember, but anyway, it's because I am so torn. Like, the contents of these two chapters, like, I reread it at least 6 or 7 times. Like, one time, like, the first time I read it, I was so hyped, and then the second time I was like, and then, like, I'll read it one time and be like, this is some epic shit, and then the next time I'll be like, this is some bullshit, and I really could not stick with one thing. Like, it's just awesome, and it sucks to me at the same time. Now, in my previous reviews that I had to scrap, I bashed it too much on one, and then I praised it too much on the other. So I'm going to try to come to a happy medium in this one. Now, first off, Natsu is God right now. I mean, he took down one of the 18 gods of something, I forgot. But anyway, I mean, he's like on God Slayer level now, I guess. With his dragon slaying abilities, maybe he evolved into a God Slayer. But then again, he already took out a God Slayer before, so I don't even know the different leagues of the Dragon Slayer and the God Slayer and that stuff anymore. Like, it doesn't even seem to matter because Natsu can do it all. But okay, I'm trying my best not to overpraise and over-criticize this chapter, but Natsu, he's doing everything, man. I mean, the guy that we got at the end of the last chapter that we thought was the big boss, he took him out in like 3 seconds. He withstood that dude's magic, punched a crater in his mask, and for some reason, I believe we're supposed to know who that person is simply because of the shadowed face. But then again, that could just be to cover up his burned face that he did on purpose. But I thought he was going to be a big boss. I was like, okay, Natsu's going to actually struggle. He did for 1 second and then whooped his ass. And then he summoned this giant titan mofo. And then I was like, okay, so finally the entirety of the fairy tale, like in this scenario, is going to have to come together and take out this dude because he's just too big and too strong for Natsu to take out by himself, right? Nope. Natsu comes out of nowhere with this, I think it was called King's Crumbling or something. Don't get me wrong. I am so very excited that Natsu finally has the power, or supposedly has the power, to take on Acnologia and at least go up head to head with him. But it just seems like every single threat that has been introduced, you know, post-time skip, Natsu has just flown through. I mean, just imagine if the Akatsuki were taken out by Naruto in just like 3 or 4 chapters. Just imagine if Pito or the King in Hunter x Hunter was taken out by Gon and Netero in just 2 or 3 chapters. Like, these seem like big people that Natsu is going up against, and literally big when it comes to that god dude, that long ass I word, I forget. But he just took them out like that in 2 chapters. In about 5 chapters, Natsu destroyed the entirety of the avatars, so it seems. And I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if the avatars aren't even a thing anymore. But that kind of sucks because I want to see Natsu's true strength, and he's showing us that, but he's showing it to us to things that he can destroy like that. So, I mean, I'm not saying I want him to get his ass whooped, but I want him to get his ass whooped. But it's just so epic to seeing that he's just so determined, and he is as strong as he is after training under Guild Arts. That's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downing his character at all. But just seeing him one-shot that humongous thing, that just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. But also, it was epic as fuck at the same time. Like, I can't even give this feeling a word. I mean, it's just, I can just sum it up as I'm mixed on Natsu's development. Well, not necessarily his development, but how this story is going. Because as of right now, it seems that Natsu doesn't even need the other fairy tale members to help him out, because he seems like God, like I said. And did you guys notice that Urza got kind of moist when she saw the kings crumbling? I mean, I would too. It was epic, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm trying my best not to give you guys the wrong idea of what I'm trying to say. But it's hard to convey this feeling of a mix of joy and like, what the fuck is this at the same time. I'm like, okay, we get it. Natsu has improved dramatically after the time skip. Now give us some more plot, give us some more danger, give us some threats to the fairy tale members, because as of right now, if the story continues like this, fairy tale is just going to blow through everything. And I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but I mean, even in the Sting and Rogue fight that almost everyone hated, like Natsu, he struggled a little bit, although you can say that his reason for winning was bullshit. He at least still got knocked around a little bit, but now Natsu's just one-shotting everything, which is epic and kind of sucks at the same time, like I said before. And also him saying to some guy that he's never met, saying that your comrades, shouldn't be sacrifices. How dare you do this to your comrades, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's very admirable of him and very heroic. But then again, he doesn't even know this dude. He doesn't even know what his face looks like. And he's, lecturing him on what he should do to his comrades. Granted, in shonen, everyone's like, oh, protect your friends, knock them in this, family that. But I mean, this is like a drastic situation, man. Just beat his ass and be done with it. Don't lecture him on how he should treat his comrades. But I mean, Natsu also did walk the walk instead of just talking the talk by destroying that huge god thing. But I mean, maybe it can regenerate and it will produce like a threat or something. But as of right now, nothing can stop Natsu, because I'm not comparing that thing to Acnologia in terms of power, but in terms of size. That god thing is way, way bigger. And if Natsu can destroy something like that, I mean, maybe it would take Zeref himself to calm Natsu the fuck down right now. Because right now, he's unstoppable, which is epic, but fucked up at the same time. And I know I keep saying that a lot during this review, but that's the only way that I can tell you guys how I really feel. Because I absolutely love the fact that he's as strong as he is, but I just don't want him to destroy the entirety of this new threat. Because, I mean, almost all of the threats from the previous, before the time skip, are done with, like the Tartarus, the demons, Oration 6, they aren't evil anymore. And the only things that we can think of right now is Acnologia and Zeref. And I kind of wanted a new threat after the time skip, and that's what I thought this avatar thing was going to be. But they're just destroying the avatars right now, unless they have like a secret weapon, or maybe another fairy tale member has gone bad or something. I don't know, maybe Makarov is evil somewhere, some crazy shit. But as of right now, the only things that can cause a problem for Natsu is Zeref himself or Acnologia, and I just wasn't looking for it to be that way. Granted, that's the entire reason we had this time skip and he went training, was to defeat Acnologia, because that's his sole reason for moving on besides finding the rest of Fairy Tail. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's great and epic and sucks at the same time. But tell me what you guys think. Did you straight up love it? Did you straight up hate it? Are you mixed like me? I think I did a better explanation of how I feel about this chapter this time around, so I might as well go ahead and upload it. But anyway, tell me what you guys think about Natsu's progression, how the story is going, and how OP everyone is after this time skip. Anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.